Hello everybody, welcome back to my team selection video. This is Pras, you're on the FPL Wire, and I have to start with a little bit of an apology. I have had a very busy week. I've not been on a lot of social media. I mean, I did my podcast yesterday and other, like obviously the main Wire one, but I haven't actually thought out a lot about should I free hit or not, which has been on my mind the whole time. And because I was at work and, I was on my way back and I was telling Zofar and Lateriser, I don't know what to say because I'm not yet sure what I'm doing. So then I had an idea. When I was coming back in the tube, I thought, the way I think I'm going to be making the decision, I'll just share it and do it live with you all. I don't know if that sounds right, but it's actually genuine team selection where I can talk through all the things that are on my mind. Maybe I don't give you an answer here, but at least you get all the things that are on my mind and maybe help me out. Like, should I wildcard this week? Not wildcard, free hit this week? Or shall I free hit in game week 16? Those are the 2 weeks that are in my mind. And I've talked about it many times. So let's start. We'll see how this goes. I have not, again, as I confess, I've not done a lot of prep. I've not done my standard Rob T slides and stuff. And I will just go through my thought process and keep it short, but also to the point. So here is my last week. I had a good week. It was a healthy green arrow, I think from 2 million to something like 1.5 million, still not where I want to be. And the idea is that we hopefully keep the momentum. Our target is Gameweek 19, 800k. So let's see if we get there. Any highlights from the week? Minte transfer in, really liked that, but it sort of offset the Enzo transfer out, so didn't really gain much there, but happier at least that transfer is there, and I know he'll be a popular pick soon, so I'm happy to be on him now. Bench jam, yes, I should talk about this. Semenyo didn't play and I got Anderson, so I think a little bit of luck, but a lot of people got that, but still, I'm always thankful for any luck. And then, before I get there, I have to mention this. We mentioned this on the main podcast as well. We do have a Black Friday Christmas offer, which is 66% off your first month if you join our Patreon. And you just have to use the code XMAS, Christmas. And it's from 25th of November, which was essentially the week or the day that we podded, till 26th of December. So that first month you get at essentially a third of the price. Gives you 6 game weeks, gives you an idea of what we do at Discord and how Patreon is. If you don't like it, you can cancel. It's just a £2 thing that you get to see how things are if you join us as a Patreon. And of course, it is very much appreciated. So, this is my bus team on the left. This is my free hit team on the right. Not my free hit team, I just picked one up off the internet. I have not even seen or thought much about it, apart from the podcast that I did with the guys. So, I'll read it out and then let's talk player by player. I'm going to brainstorm a little here in terms of what I'm thinking. And then, by the way, just so you know where I'm going with this, I'll have a second slide, which is my potential Game Week 16 bus team compared to a potential Game Week 16 free hit team. This is how I've always evaluated free hits. I just spent the time in the tube to think about, just took these 4 screenshots. And so let's discuss. So current bus team. I have Pope in goal. I have Timber, Van Dijk, and I did Senesi to O'Reilly last night before he rose, because I was like, O'Reilly is a pick even if I free hit and even if I don't, because O'Reilly is good for the next 2-3 weeks or beyond. The fact that Man City played a pretty much a rested lineup midweek also made me want to free hit more this week, simply because now there's a higher chance that the main guys just play all the 3 games, which are the next 3 game weeks, right? Which happen within a week. We know this, that game week 13, 14, 15 all happen within the next 9 days. So the fact that they rested the whole team, or pretty much the whole team, it means the O'Reillys, the Fodens, the Dokus, the Haalands could very much start all of the next 3. So they're good transfers in on wildcard or as a transfer and on a free hit. So I did that move. Midfield, Minte, Sar, Saka, Semenyo, Bruno, and then Mateta, Haaland as my attack. Now, what don't I like and what do I like? So I talked about the fact that O'Reilly's in, so I think my defense looks good. Even though Timber away to Chelsea, look, I know Arsenal is good, but if you look at clean sheet odds, there are better defenses this week to back. It sounds strange to say that, Brentford is a better defense to back. Chelsea is good, man. Chelsea just beat Barcelona. So it's not a given. And, if it's a week to take them on, it's okay. But I'm happy with Timber as it stands. And then Van Dijk, I don't know what to say, man. Like, it's getting worse and worse in terms of, getting the guy in. I still believe in him, but if you concede 4 goals to PSV, there's not much I can say to defend him. So he's also okay. West Ham are terrible at corners, so not bad. Pope also not bad. So I think defense is not bad. I would give it like a 7 on 10. Maybe you disagree. With O'Reilly, maybe 7.5 on 10. Now let's get to midfield. Now, Minte away to Nottingham Forest, I like it. Nottingham Forest were in Europe, but it's an away game. Sean Dyche is, the juggernaut has started. They won 3-0. So it's an away game to Forest, or let's think of it like this. Away game to a Sean Dyche team is never easy. So he's okay. Sarr played the full game midweek. I think he played the full game. Missed a big chance, I saw. But he's fine. He's good, at least for the next 2-3 weeks. You have Saka, who's playing Chelsea away. I think Saka's great. But again, the way Cucurella played against Yamal, I'm like, Saka, man. Like, I don't think Cucurella is the best matchup for Saka. But again, he's fine. He has route to points. Like, I'm not panicking owning Saka, but it's not a great match for him. Semenyo, I saw an update this morning that he looks okay. He's not 100%, but should be okay. So again, with him, I'm fine. Bruno is always fine, but Cunha being out does not help. Like, you saw against Everton, we were out of ideas. Xerxes up top without Sesko, now Cunha as well. That link is missing. And so Bruno is, I don't want to use narratives, right, that he's not going forward because Bruno missed a massive chance. So, but it doesn't help, right? Like, you cannot argue that it's not worse for Man United if Cunha is not there for the attack. And anyway, Crystal Palace are one of those games where I'm actually very curious to see how that game goes, because neither of the teams want the ball. They'll be like, no, you have it. They'll be like, no, you have the ball. So it'll be funny because both of them prefer games where they have less than 50% possession. So that's, again, okay. So far, all the players are okay, right? Haaland, obviously, great. Mateta, now this is the other concern. Mateta again was subbed off on the 62nd minute for Nketiah. So his minutes just don't look great. And now he has Man United, then he has Burnley away in the midweek fixture. So one of two things can happen. He keeps getting these 59th minute or 60th minute subs and he keeps playing, or he plays a little bit longer and then he's a risk for midweek. Either way, it's not ideal, right? So you can play him and hope for the best, but then also he's okay. So this is the team. No real bench. Anderson away to Spurs is okay. Then a free hit team. Let's talk about that. So triple Man City, I think, is incredible. Really like it. But I have 2 of those already, right? So it's only about Foden or Doku, whichever one you go with. I think defense arguably is pretty decent. Clean sheet odds for Aston Villa and for Brentford are about 8 to 10% higher than a Chelsea and a Liverpool. Maybe not Liverpool or a Newcastle. So you get that 10% between these 3-4 players. That's like 10% of a clean sheet times 4. So that's like 1.6 expected points in itself in your defense. So one of these guys keep a clean sheet, you're good. Then you have the midfield. And in midfield, you could say, who am I really afraid of? I mean, midfield is all right? I mean, you're not afraid. Like, if Liverpool was in form, then you say, oh, Salah and Gakpo away to West Ham, I'm very afraid. But then I think Salah could do well. It is West Ham at the end of the day. Gakpo, so the thing that happened in the Liverpool midweek fixture is Ekitike got a niggle. Now, I'm not sure if he's back for the weekend or not. Wirtz could also be back, but not 100%. But it means it's pretty sure that Gakpo's going to start, Isak's going to start, Salah's going to start. So from that point of view, starts look okay. How Liverpool do, nobody knows. They could lose 1-0 and no one is shocked now. That's how bad they are these days. Then you have Rodgers, who, again, I'm not convinced that is amazing. See, when I'm talking to you guys, I'm not, like, maybe there's some defensive FOMO in the free hit. Like in midfield, Rodgers' underlying data is pathetic. Like, he has under 0.2 XGI per 90. Sade is good. Sade and Thiago are 2 that I'm genuinely thinking that, they could hurt me. because it's a Burnley fixture. Those two are pretty talismanic for their teams, and there's no way I can get them. Like with O'Reilly, I've covered him a little bit. So between Foden, Sade, and Thiago, there I feel I'm a little bit exposed. Salah, Gakpo to a lesser extent. And I think, with Salah, with his form, I think Saka can match. With Gakpo, Minte can match. Can a Bruno match a Foden? Maybe. Can a Sar match a Sade and a Mateta? Thiago? Questionable. So, on the balance, my view is that I lose about 6 to 8 points if on average. Could be worse, could be better, right? Could be that Bruno gets a brace and then I beat the free hit, or one of these guys keep a clean sheet and one of these guys gets a brace and free hit hits it out of the park by 15 points. But on the balance, having gone through it with you, and I'm genuinely going through this live, right? I haven't thought about it. I'm generally just looking at this live. I think this is about 6 to 10 points that I give up on a free hit, which is reasonable. Like you could say a free hit should be more, but in a single game week, you will not get many that are 6 points more. So let's go to game week 16. Let's just see how that looks. So game week 16 on the left again is my potential bust team. I should have read out the free hit team, by the way. I'm sorry I didn't do that if anyone is listening. So in this team you have double Villa defense because I think they have the best clean sheet out. Wolves have been terrible in scoring goals. So I think I would go double. And Cash got a rest midweek as well. So that helps. So Martinez and Cash, O'Reilly and Vandenberg, I think it picks itself. I haven't given it thought in terms of Collins versus Vandenberg. I don't have much team value because I haven't been farming value as a free hitter. So I can afford this team. Then Salah, Gakpo, Foden, Rogers, Sade, and then in attack it's Haaland and Thiago, and then in defense it's a defender. Could be Van de Ven, could be Truffert, could be anyone, and then cheapos all around. So that's the free hit team compared to my bust team. Now let's go to game week 16. So in game week 16, I will have to use 3 free transfers. By the way, this guy should be O'Reilly. Because I already made that transfer, right? So if I'm not free hitting, this guy will be O'Reilly. So let's assume it's O'Reilly. Who will he play away to Crystal Palace? He could instead of Minte, maybe. So anyway, Pope in goal, Timber, Van Dijk, Anderson, O'Reilly and Rodon. In midfield, I'll have Minte, Saka, Semenyo, Bruno, and then Haaland. And then the 2 transfers that I would make leading up to game week 16 are Sar and Mateta to somebody. Very likely one of those will be Thiago, and the other will be somebody. Could be Cunha, could be Foden, could be Rice, could be Doku. Like there's so many options, and that spot can genuinely be that spot which I just change every week. Because look at the rest of the team when I get into it. I'm not moving my goalkeeper. I'm not moving my Arsenal defender. Van Dijk, I have a different threshold for pain than the average person, so I'm not looking to move him out. Anderson is not going anywhere. If I have O'Reilly, I won't move him. Rodon won't go anywhere. Minte is not going anywhere. Saka, Semenyo has Burnley after. He's not going anywhere. So genuinely, this team would be in a place where every single week, I would use this 4th or 5th midfield spot to make a transfer and to chase the player that is playing Burnley or whatever. So this week, it could be Wolves. So it's Rice. So let's say this is my bust team, right? And things can change, injuries can happen, whatever. But this is what I'm doing with you guys. This is why it's live and this is why it's all brainstorming. Potential free hit team in game week 16. Now, the main appeal of game week 16 free hit is that it's Haaland-less because Haaland is playing Crystal Palace away. Many of you will look at it and say, so what? He can score against Crystal Palace. And you're absolutely correct. This is why this free hit is a riskier free hit where you're taking on a Haaland, using his money and buying essentially Salah and Palmer. So the main difference here is that A, you have double Arsenal defense again. In this case, I can't get to double Arsenal defense that easily because the transfers will be used for Sar and Mateta. I will have a Chelsea defender in Cucurella, who's good, home to Everton. And then you have Salah and Palmer. Because Enzo is fine, right? Enzo is as good as Rice. So I don't think it's that much better. I'll have Thiago. So it's basically the difference will be Haaland versus Salah and Palmer. And Semenyo versus Enzo and Minte versus a Chelsea defender. So 4-5 differences. This for me is just a little bit higher upside because the masses will still captain Haaland. Not the people who are listening to this, maybe those guys will captain Saka, you guys. who are not free hitting, or Bruno, or maybe you get to a Palmer and you get there. But most people will captain Haaland. So it's a week where if Haaland blanks, your free hit will fly. The other thing about Game Week 16 is that you don't have to free hit in Game Week 16. Something else can happen before that. Maybe in Game Week 14, this midweek game week, a couple of niggles happen and you play a free hit then. So that's the appeal of waiting. But when I do this, and when I look at these things side by side, and I say, look, in this free hit, I will have Thiago. Haaland over Salah and Palmer can go either way. Like, especially how Salah is doing. Then you add to the fact that Minte against Liverpool suddenly became an okay fixture, right? I mean, Liverpool were terrible midweek. So when I look at this team, Semenyo against Man United, I mean, I know Man United. It's not bad. Then you have these 3 home games. Defense looks fantastic. Pope is playing Sunderland, which is not easy, but Newcastle will it's their big derby. Honestly, doing this team selection makes me think I should just free hit. So I was going to stop here, but if I am going to free hit, let me just put a little bit more thought on at least sharing my views. I mean, this team looks okay. And maybe because I haven't been thinking about free hit from the beginning of the week, I have not gone into overthinking mode on, can I get Doku? And then if I get Doku, what happens? Can I get Watkins into this team? Can I get Isak into this team? Can I get Van Dijk in this team? Can I get triple attack where without Vandenberg, I go for Dango Otara? All those are options, but this team looks fine. Like, this team looks good. Maybe this is the team people originally went with and now they're in overthinking mode. So I'll go back to social media and I will see what are the latest drafts that are flying around. But I think it's a solid team. So I have moved to 60-40 doing this video. I mean, I was generally 50-50. But doing this, when I look at 16, I mean, if someone asks me why are you... Oh, actually, Pope versus Kelleher is another difference. But is it that big? If someone asks me, why are you waiting? I think I'm more waiting, hoping that one of the weeks there is mayhem and I free hit that week. Maybe that's the answer. That I'm hoping that something happens, but maybe it doesn't happen. And that chance of mayhem reduced substantially when Haaland was benched midweek. Because, the hope was game week 14 or 15, we get a leak. Oh, Haaland is benched. Play a free hit, distribute the Haaland money, whoever you get. Because you have an edge now that you've made a free hit team without Haaland, knowing Haaland cannot hurt you and you've used all his money, spread it around. That team has to do better than a normal team. I mean, you don't want to tempt fate, but that was my idea of waiting. But if Haaland missed the midweek completely, what are the odds that he's going to miss one of the games, the Premier League games, when they're chasing Arsenal? I think it's low. I think it's pretty low. So I'll leave it there. What I'm going to say is I hate to leave it like this on my team selection on I don't even know if I'm free hitting, right? So what I'll say is my transfer is Senesi to O'Reilly. I'm 60-40 on a free hit. I'm going to sleep on it. In the morning, underneath this YouTube video, I will share my free hit draft if I'm on a free hit, and I will let you know. If I don't reply or if I don't do anything, that means I'm not free hitting. So that's my promise to you. So I do apologize. It's been a busy week. I haven't given it enough thought, but please bear with me. And that's the way I will do it, and hopefully that's okay. And hopefully this format this week, this little different format worked as well, because I'm genuinely thinking out loud. So please like the video if you liked this, and let me know. Like if you think one of these weeks is better, then maybe I'm missing something. So, all right. Thank you very much. Have a good week. I will see you guys next week.